Can Zion live up to the LeBron hype?
Yes, he can. I'm not saying he's going to be the same kind of player that LeBron is. What I mean in answering that question is that whatever your expectations are from watching him is something that he can continue on the next level. I need folks to understand what I'm trying to say. My God.
Yeah.
This brother right here.
Every morning,
Zion
the meeting calls.
Williamson.
Stephen A. gets all excited about it. He's like, did you see Zion last night?
Listen, I don't get caught up in dunks.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm seeing this guy jump to near the top of the backboard. Vertically. It ain't like taking off and jumping off of one leg.
Yeah.
He's jumping off of two. Okay? It's
not
not
the all-star contest.
It's not that. It's the fact that he's 280. It's the fact that it's muscles. It ain't fat. I had somebody walk up to me on the streets the other day. Stephen A., do you feel like he could, I mean, that's a lot of weight to carry around. What is he going to do? I said, have you seen those legs? Have you seen those tree trunks for legs that he walks around with? It's not like it's an upside down inverted pyramid. It's like an inverted pyramid or something where it's like this. No, it's massive. It's girth. It's muscle. It's power. And oh, by the way, let me get to the skill part. He's averaging 25 and 10 in college. 25 and 10 in college, right? It gets better. He's shooting 82% from the field. 82%. I mean, 82%.
Yeah, I know.
This dude listen, I've talked to NBA players who are grown men that have said, I ain't taking no offensive foul from that guy. Already, he ain't even in the pros yet, and they see him coming. They see him coming. This brother, this young kid right here, Zion, R.J. Barrett's the best overall player on the team. But this dude, because of his mass, his girth, his power, he got a handle and can pass and all of that other stuff. But the fact that he has the athleticism, the agilities, and the ability that he has at 6'7", 280 pounds, he is an elevated version of Charles Barkley. My God, this brother.
Yeah.
The answer is no. It's very unlikely he lives up to the LeBron hype. But I don't really compare him exactly to LeBron. I think those kind of comparisons are unfair. The two most hyped players in history both amazingly exceeded their hype coming out of college or coming out of the amateur.
LeBron and who?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. Kareem in his day and LeBron in this day were hyped beyond belief, for the era. And somehow wound up even better than that.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Kareem and LeBron are really in a competition for second best player who ever lived behind Michael Jordan. Zion Williamson, it's just a long shot that anyone ever winds up one of the top 2 or 3 players who ever lived. I don't see him as living up to LeBron hype. Here's my question for Zion Williamson, who, by the way, is the answer to what's the best show in sports right now. Is it Patrick Mahomes? Who is it? I think at this moment in time, the snapshot right now, it's Zion Williamson. That's can't miss TV right now in the world of sports. To me, you mentioned Charles Barkley. I also think of Blake Griffin, and to a lesser extent, Sean Kemp. The question with Zion Williamson is, can a wide-bodied, kind of multi-dimensional player like him be the best player on a championship team? Barkley never won a championship. And Blake Griffin obviously hasn't even really competed for a championship yet and may never. And the question is, can that kind of player physically, and he's an exaggerated version of that kind of player, be the best player on a championship team, given his skill set, which is more diverse than Barkley's or Blake's? The answer may be yes. I mean, he's a rim defender somehow at 6'7", at least in college. He's grabbing rebounds. He can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. He can pass. He can finish at the rim, obviously. Maybe he could be the one that fits that body type, to a lesser extent, Karl Malone and Sean Kemp. But the kind of absurd athlete, but not the long, lanky guy, the block of concrete, who, because of the nature of basketball, that body type hasn't been ideal. Can he be the one?
Because of the way the NBA game is played in this day and age, there's two things that you have to watch out for. A is the three-point shot, okay? Because if you need shooters. But B is the kind of powerful athlete that comes along, that generational kind of physical specimen. Where you just move out the way. I remember in the 80s when Barkley came onto the NBA scene. And do you know how many times people just moved out of his way because you saw him coming?
That was the mailman.
Now we've seen.
That was Karl Malone.
That was Karl Malone on the fast break.
Right, but Barkley could put it on the floor.
But Barkley could put it on the floor better. That's why I didn't use Karl Malone. I used Barkley. As massive, as massive as Karl Malone was, he could take you in the post and he could make you feel his presence. He was an enforcer offensively.
Kemp also like that, more like Malone.
Yeah, but Kemp, you was just scared to get embarrassed. That was the difference. He was a high flyer. In Barkley's case, you literally saw Barkley dribbling up the court. And you went like this. I ain't standing in front of this dude. I'm moving the hell out the way. That's Zion. You're going to see people moving out of the way, parting like the Red Sea because they don't want this guy running over
I'll give
them.
you another comparison, but he's not, but the same kind of hype coming out of college, not the LeBron hype, maybe the Shaq hype. Shaq wasn't the best college player in the world, but it was clear that he was going to be a generational pro player.
And dominate the league.
Zion Williamson is like physically different than everyone else, the way Shaq was physically different.
And that's all I mean. When you say the comparisons, it's not about comparing him to LeBron's game. It's that the height that LeBron received, he exceeded it. You're looking at Zion. He's a different player.
He's different.
But the height that you're attached to him, I believe he will live up to that.
Let me end it with this.
He's the #1 overall pick in a draft right now.
Zion Williamson has more dunks than missed shots this season.